I'm thinking, and I'm always like brainstorming when it comes to marketing and, how to continue to grow my platform, not just with music, but ultimately for the kingdom with ministry, but also too when it comes to business. You know what I mean? Like continuing to just envision, Block Hustle and Block Hustle Entertainment continuing to grow, and with the vision and the steps taking place about signing other artists, looking for artists, things like that. I'm always thinking about how to not only break other artists, but to continue to break myself and to continue to grow a fan base and to market like efficiently and to do it like accurately and strategically and creatively. So my mind's always, turning when it comes to like content creation, like how to create content, how to market it better, and all of these things. So I do think from time to time about like, okay, I just can't have tunnel vision on Instagram. I got to continue to leverage my TikTok following. I just started a Patreon. You know what I mean? So like, I know I got to make a LinkedIn so I can, tap in with like A&Rs in the music industry and people and like corporate spaces and the more professional settings and things like that. So there's always things in my mind that I know I need to do and I think about. And one thing I've been thinking was like a fear of mine, like I said, was being hacked. Like, I know a lot of people, they got backup pages just in case that were to happen. So I was thinking like just now, like, dang, like what if I did get hacked? You know what I mean? I'm like rolling out my album right now as I speak. I'm like, dang, like God forbid, what if I did get hacked? You know what I mean? Like, of course, I could use these other platforms like Facebook and TikTok, to roll out my album, but the majority of my marketing is done through Instagram. So that paused me right now to think. And that's the whole point of why, I'm filming this episode right now, because that literally just happened like an hour ago. And I think right now that's why I got the computer up, right? So let me see. Because when I was doing it from my phone, it wasn't loading. So then I went on my MacBook. And Instagram wasn't even loading from the computer. Okay, now it is. All right. Anyways, so, thank God I noticed before I even started filming and started working on my phone. But Instagram wasn't even loading from like the Google like web browser. Instagram crashed. And I think it was maybe only for like an hour or so. But that made me think like, yo, like with all this AI stuff, and you always hear these tech heads talking about like that's their fear. Is AI getting into the hands of, the bad guys is how they term them, terrorists, and like, just all the different cyber attacks that could happen. And I'm not going to go off the deep end, when it comes to conspiracy theories. That's not why I'm filming this. Do I think that a lot of that is definitely true? Of course. Is it like a reality that, we could face and probably will face cyber attack from other countries and things like that? Yeah, most definitely. But that's not my field. I don't have knowledge about that, just general, knowledge in my opinion. So I'm not even going to speak on it. But what I'm talking about is as an artist and as a content creator, and if you're watching this, I'm sure you are too, whether it be in the music industry or just, in the field of creating content. And that's what this is about right now, about being wise and being strategic and understanding and knowing that you, myself specifically, because I'm talking to myself right now, because that's why I was panicking. Like, dang, I was thinking the majority of my focus has been on Instagram. So I just can't hold on to one platform or just have tunnel vision on one platform, because, what if Instagram gets, hacked by some foreign country and it shuts down for a day or 2 days, 3 days, a week, and especially if it's at a crucial time, like I mentioned, when I'm rolling out my album. I need to have momentum and a consistent feed of marketing on other platforms as well. And I've been listening to a lot of La Russell's interviews lately, and just his wisdom when it comes to like, not depending upon the industry. Of course, as an artist, knowing the importance of certain connections and, whether it be through streaming, through radio, whatever, but how La Russell understood of building his fan base organically and driving people to his own platform. And that's really what's been on my heart and my mind lately. And that's why I'm filming this whole video right now. And I'm obviously, figuring out, I haven't even nowhere reached the goals and, the intended aim as an artist of where I'm going to be and where I like to be. But in the process of growing and marketing and strategizing, I'm realizing that I need to be driving my fan base, my followers, people who listen to me, people who appreciate and value my content, whether it be through the podcast, whether it be through music, whether it be ultimately ministry or just my personality, I just can't hinge all of, like my marketing or, my platform, like on these other platforms, like just on Instagram. Like, nah, I need to build my own, whether it be through my own website or through like even Patreon. Patreon's, a good lick, for creators to try to get more funds for themselves for direct support from their fan base, and it's helpful to artists. But I mean, the same thing can happen to Patreon. Why depend upon Patreon? Why depend upon Instagram? Why depend upon TikTok? Of course, because they're used by billions of people and they have so much momentum, and you get in the algorithm. Of course, we need to use those things. Yeah, it's wisdom. It's just obvious common sense. But I think that I need to do my part in creating my own platform, whether it be through my website, whether it be through, just multiple different platforms, maybe the up and coming ones. I know like people be on Triller, Twitch is popping, so I just, want to share that with you today. Like, I know for me, for myself, for that hour while Instagram was down, I'm like, dang, bro. And I was just thinking like, what if Instagram crashed or like got like hacked for like days or a week or a month? You know what I mean? Like, like that would really hurt a lot of businesses. That would hurt a lot of artists. That would hurt a lot of social influencers. And what if that just didn't happen in Instagram? What if that happened with TikTok, with Facebook? What if it happened with all of the social media simultaneously? I know this what if scenario, but I mean, it crashes. It's very rarely, but it does. And with AI and with technology getting more advanced, and maybe people being able to, figure out how to use it, for their malicious intent. I think as a content creator, I need to be prepared for that. And even like I was saying before, like the worst case scenario, I used to always fear about getting hacked and all that. Like, that was a fear, but I was unwise by not preparing myself. So I think through this experience, even though, being meta verified, you got proof and all that, but hey, there's still loopholes in every system. So I think just a small takeaway application for me from this experience is, all right, let me go ahead and start a backup page and get momentum on that and drive my fan base and my following there so I can always have that just in case. But just take that to the next step is, all right, let me be consistently intentional about marketing and building and pushing all of my fan base and my followers on all of the platforms that I'm on. TikTok, Twitch, Patreon, Facebook, Instagram, Triller, everything. But like I was saying, figuring out an organic way of how to have direct contact with the fan base, with the fans, with the followers themselves, whether it be through an email list, whether it be through like them smart numbers. I forget what it's called, whenever you can like your fans can have your number, and it's not really like your personal number, but it's a number that you'll be notified whenever they text or reach out or whatever. So I just want to encourage you, in the whole point of today's episode, the Home Studio Let Me Talk Bro podcast is for the content creators and for the artists. Listen, man, today Instagram crashed, bro, and that could happen again, and it could happen a lot longer. So be prepared, be wise, and understand and know, man, you got to be prepared for the worst, and just not put all your eggs in one basket, man. And as a social media influencer, as an artist, as a person who's, directly always in constant communication with their fan base and followers to push their music, to build their brand, to build their business, we have to be more prepared. And we have to be more creative in creating our own organic platform rather than relying upon these media tech giants that could try to charge us, which they are, Patreon, such like platforms like that. Why not cut out the game and create our own platform?